Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves and this is Reeves Point of View. I want to talk to you about why attorneys hate surprises. Okay, let me just tell you how this thing shakes. When an attorney takes your case on, they spend countless hours preparing. And this is the part that most people don't see. Because in so many instances, people are expecting to get calls on a daily basis. They're expecting somebody to give them blow-by-blow accounts. And those things are great. But there's going to come a window of time where the attorney is drilling through all the evidence that they have before them, and they are trying to get a strong theory of what your case is. And so they're going through all this and all this and all this to make sure that when they are ready to get rock and roll, they can do this thing. The last thing they want to deal with is a surprise. And you would say, well, wait a minute, isn't that what I hired him for? And my philosophy is, you hire an attorney not only to just troubleshoot difficult areas in your case. I often joke and say, an attorney is also there to save you from yourself. There's two phrases I used to use all the time. I said, an attorney is there to save you from yourself, and an attorney there to give you the good, bad, and the ugly. The second part is the biggest part, because sometimes in order to be able to save you from yourself, we have to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the ugly or the bad that we don't know about that drives us nuts. I can tell you the number of times I've had attorneys from other sides saying, oh yeah, did you know about this? And you're looking at your client like, hello? What you gotta say? Oh, I forgot all about that. And you're like, okay. You're like, really? That's really, you forgot all about that? That you forgot about? Everything else you told me, but you forgot about that? And so now what happens is that usually those surprises, they never come when, the attorney's back in their office chilling, having a soda and just talking about your case. It never comes when you're talking to your attorney about something. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Should you know this? It always comes at the wildest times. I can tell you I've had at least 2 surprises occur in the middle of a deposition where they asked where the other side asked my client a question and my client said something like, oh, and blew my mind. And of course I had to keep the poker face. And in the moment we went outside, I was in. I'm like, why did you not tell me that? Oh, I didn't think it was important. I asked you to tell me everything. Well, did you know it then when I asked you? Well, yeah, but I just decided it wasn't important. So what you did was you made the independent decision that something that you were supposed to tell me, you felt that you shouldn't tell me because you decided it wasn't important. And then they're like, well, is it important? Yes. So now we've got to scramble and clean that up. I've had it happen in court. I've had judges say, by the way, counselor, and it's whenever you get that, attorneys know we hate the by the ways, because what that means is we've now been introduced some piece of information that we have not adequately prepared for. Now, don't get me wrong. Most attorneys who are skilled at what they're doing, they've been doing for a period of time and so forth, they can think on their feet. They can address an issue fairly quickly. But that's not what you really should have them there for. They're not there to think on their feet for you. The reality is there going to be surprises? Are there things that they anticipate? Are there issues they deal with? Absolutely. But the reality is you want your attorney to be as well versed as possible, so you don't want them finding out something at the last minute, especially something you could have told them about. So I often tell people all the time, especially, God, when I used to do employment law, I used to always say this. I start at the very beginning. I said, look, I need you to do 2 things for me. Think about everything out there that they could possibly use against you and think of whether you've told me or not. Because if they know it already, it's going to come out. I would much rather know about it so I can blend it down a bit as opposed to finding out in the middle of a proceeding. And unfortunately, I can't get you to remember everything, but it does happen. And the other thing I tell people is, listen, I need you to understand, the judge drives a very big bus. I ain't trying to be up underneath it. And I'd like you not to be under it either. So if you know something, because my face, I got a great poker face sometimes, but if I hear something cray-cray, yeah, the face is gone. And I've gone in court a few times when judges have dropped bombs on me right there, and I'm kind of like, first time I'm hearing about it. And so all of a sudden the client is freaking because they're like, why didn't you do this? Because you didn't tell me. Attorneys, part of their expertise and their ability to handle things is their ability to adequately address any of the problem areas because they know about them in advance, so this way they can prepare to deal with any issues that come up. If you take their ability to be able to address those things in advance away from them because you've chosen not to tell them about it, you put yourself in a bad position and you put them in a bad position too. Hey everyone, this is Tony Reeves. If you like my content or have any suggestions, please let me know. And by all means, make sure you share. The only way I can get my word out is you help me get the word out as well.